this morning.
I,
DVG,
w- I wouldn't be against that.
you know.
I don't know, man. It's moving up pretty strong here, 451. The one I missed to the downside was Rocket Lab and Adobe. I actually like Adobe a little bit more for like long-term plays, so I don't mind if falling apart down to like 240s. I might buy it and hold it for a while, but I think maybe that it makes a comeback here in the next few months. Hardware definitely getting initially rocked, but MU doesn't care. $1,000 now. It's what, 1,036.
Pretty crazy.
MU's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I remember, what was it, a year ago, maybe a year and a bit. I was in at 99, I think it was $99. Let's see where it is now. Look, if ServiceNow is going to carry on with this upward projection today, that is, I think, my highest line in the sand, because that's a hyperextension. If we look on the fib, we are way past. Let's just see. Scroll in here.
I want to short MU. That's
I mean, we're entering the third standard. Oh my gosh, this is insane with now. For now to push up to the next level, my next fib target is 148.75. That's a big move. Obviously, that's
an all-time high, by the way.
We wouldn't expect that to happen today.
Yep.
So I'd be
okay. I'm going to take the. I'm going to take NVDA at 218.50. 218.50. Second trade of the day here now. NVDA long 218.50.
I'd be looking short on ServiceNow from 134.01. I'd be entering a short position. The below VWAP, the 9 and the 20, we're converging at 134.01.
Okay, I'm going to take some right here, 457. I'm going to take some Dell short. Risky trade, but you know what? Nothing goes straight up. So stock is already up, 38 points? So I'll take some here right at, I'm going to take it right here at 459. Okay, so I'm short the stock, 459 right on the dime here. I'll give myself 3 points up to 463, and if not, I'll call that a loser. Okay. OKTA was spot on with that trade here. QCOM maybe for a short as well. CRM over that 200, Steve. Got 2 points if you took the trade, if you're looking at it.
I'll short Dell at 460.
Yeah, come on. Okay, I'm going to come out of the ServiceNow trade, NOW, right here at the 135.70. I'm out of the trade. 3/4 of the trade out, NOW. That was a really nice trade there on NOW. 132 entry, 135.70 exit. And watch Dell here. Going to try for about 10 points on the downside here on Dell.
I got a 458 initial entry on Dell, but it's
nice.
a so
okay. I think we see below 450 here, maybe even on this rundown. So let's watch it.
I'll put it here in the. There we go. I wanted it at 460, but oh well. Rocket Lab now falling apart under 130. Shoot, that was probably one of my bigger short position targets. I do like AMD as well to the downside. Kind of like this breakdown here.
Come on, Dell.
Kind of slow.
Yep. A little bit. Those of you that are in the NVDA trade with me here at the 218.50, we just absolutely slaughtered this. I'm going to come out right here, 220.30, 220.50, 220.40. I'm out. Okay. Whew. Okay, 2 for 2, and we're treading some water on Dell now. And speaking of now, I'm going to take all shares out on NOW. I'm out all shares NOW. So right now I'm looking at the Dell short and the NVDA long, partial on NVDA. DVG, hopefully 10 points here.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It's a little bit erratic. Like I hit a market order and that's what I ended up with, but the fact that it's, $1.50 and then 30 cents, then $2 could get in trouble up here. Rocket Lab 127. Hopefully some of you guys shorted that. That would have been nice. Anybody take that one? That would have been a good trade there. Okay, here we go. Let's add a Dell. We'll get a actual position going. Just a couple hundred shares. You can hear me, right, Scott?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, Justin's saying he can't hear me. Maybe by design. He's like, I don't want to listen to that guy. Rocket Lab falling off a cliff here.
I can hear you. I came back in. I can hear you. So don't say anything bad about me. I can hear you. Thanks,
Justin. You have are you on the new computer yet or no?
Yes, sir. Spent the entire weekend getting
Right.
our rig configured. So we are golden.
I bet your wifey was excited about that.
She missed the time with me, but we made up for a little bit. Went to the pool yesterday. So
Yeah.
happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
Guys, I'm taking AMD short. 193. Sorry,
Out all
493.
shares NVDA.
Let's do it. We're in.
All right.
493.
I'm just Dell right now.
Keep an eye on Meta, guys. Meta's falling off a cliff.
Oh, good call on Meta. I actually wanted to dabble in that one as well. I'm still in the Amazon trade. It's just kind of doing nothing, so I'm not really worried about it.
I took a
620 is a
limit order.
big level on Meta, so maybe it bounced to 625. Might get interested.
Mm-hmm. I took a limit order at 134.06. It missed, so missed that run up because I wanted to run it to 139, back up to the higher day with service now. So I missed that trade. I originally said short, if you guys remember, and then I switched to long, and that's when I dropped off. And here we go. Palantir, guys, are going to be careful with Palantir. Let's have a look at Palantir.
Risky business, guys. Wow, look at Meta tanking now. I'm gonna go for it, guys. I'm gonna put a little more on Dell here.
Just want to give you guys a heads up on Palantir. Give me a sec while I have a look at it, because that 160 is a very key level. I just want to double check my charts.
We get over 461 on Dell. We'll probably dump it. That's a pretty aggressive push for Dell, if I'm being honest.
Okay, guys, remember the rhino we drew with Palantir? We literally just hit it. That rhino we drew the other day, we literally just hit it. So be very careful with Palantir. That's what I exactly thought. So let's have a look. My upside target with Palantir is 168.45.
Full share size Amazon now.
So if you guys are still going long on Palantir, those that are trading it, 168.45 is a key level of resistance. We could see that today or even this week. And then I would probably be looking to short.
Well, I'm 2 for 2 right now. We just need Dell below 450.
At this point, I want a 440 on Dell.
Yeah, come on. CRM, beautiful. Steve, did you end up taking CRM?
Full share size on Amazon short, guys. Well, I think the Qs are going to give out here in a second. It's really slow open, though, for June 1st.
Traders, those of you that were with us last week and the week before, I am going to be vacationing this week. I'll be here for the Open, Justin and DVG on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I'll be here for the Open on Wednesday. I'll leave about 10, head to the airport, and then so I'll be gone, Thursday, Friday, and then the following week. But I'll check in with everybody. You guys are going to be in great hands as usual. And I am bringing the laptop. I'm not planning on trading, but I plan on checking in. So going to let the fruit of the labor go and hopefully pay for this trip just today. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I'll be out all day Wednesday.
All right, good.
I should be here Wednesday. So
yeah,
for those of you like my style, I'll be here.
Yeah.
Here comes AMD.
Trading style or clothing style?
Hey, I specifically wore, because I knew I was going to be on camera today, something that would reflect Florida, Miami, whatever, East Coast vibe. I tried my best, okay?
Yeah.
And don't forget, my wife dresses me.
Yeah, I know. Got the granimals.
That's it.
All right.
Look, service now see me to break out. I'd probably expect a fake out here, guys, so just be careful. Let's have a closer look on the technicals. Hyperextended on the 1 minute chart. Still some room to the upside. Actually, yeah, there's still room to the upside. So this could keep going. If it does continue, let me redraw a shorter fib. Shorter range fib and see where we end up. So we've got 148. If this pushes up, I'd probably see it run to 144.50. I'd exit at 144.35. My entry would be off the 9 EMA on the 1 minute chart.
T-Dash, you're asking about Amazon. There's just some news, like what they're trying to do with foreign currency debt, essentially to pay for some AI infrastructure. So I'm monitoring it. So I saw the initial move to the downside. We're under the 200 EMA, under the 55. So for now, that gives me some confidence to maybe hang on to the trade for a bit. And typically, can we bounce off the lows? Yeah, but that's an unfortunate habit for a lot of retail traders that at some point, people are going to learn the hard way. That's not what you do structurally when you see a stock breaking down like that. You don't buy the dip usually, but it's been working. So, you can't argue over winning facts. AMD, though, looking good.
Yeah. What a nice surprise. Looks like my order did take. Thank you now.
Yeah, no worries, T-Dash. And typically when you have build up towards the bottom, like if a stock's moving lower, it becomes the trend of that, right? So it's hard when you see the Qs moving higher, SPYs moving higher. But again, the first hour of today, I think, is going to be like right now, retail is probably getting excited. I have a feeling there's some order flow that's just sitting on the sideline, which is why we're probably pretty slow today. But maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30, we'll probably see some price action hit the tape. Again, it could be to the upside, and I could be wrong, and oh well, get out of the way. But I don't know. This feels a little more retail dominant at the open.
I'm thinking IBM, maybe for a long.
IBM's a good call, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I look at it and remember I was talking about last week to remind myself about the volume, and honestly, the volume looks horrific, right? Started off right out of the gate pretty strong, and then we've had what 1, 2, 3, 4 declining volume candles.
Mm-hmm.
So
9 million shares hit the tape this morning. It typically trades that in a day. we hit it in what 10, 15 minutes.
so again, I mean, it's in play, right? But
yeah.
I just don't see it being that strong.
Well, I'm trying to figure out a consolidated Trump mention stock list, because like Dell is definitely one of them. I remember talking about Dell and it was $100. In fact, right before earnings, I was mentioning Dell. It was like, I think $300. We have to rewind the tape, go find it. But guys, keep an eye on the Qs here. We're back to the close with some authority. Be careful of the bottom giving out here. Let's hope for some of our positions here. Rocket Lab fading pretty well.
Watch the 450 here on Dell.
Yeah, if I see a 440 anything, I'm taking some off Dell.
Yeah. Oh, here we come. Watch 440. Watch the 450 break, DVG.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching. There we go. There's 450 on the nose. There's 449. Let's see if I can get the ask there so I can get out of the way and cover this thing.
I'm with you.
Getting ready for a partial, guys.
Come on, fall. There we go. Come on. I'm covering here. 449, 67. I just grabbed it. Screw it.
Hey, AMD's looking good. AMD's looking good. Let's see if we can get a break now on AMD. That should. So T-Dash, where you at? Pull up AMD real quick if you can on your side. Take a look at that. So normally, pre-market low is right where we're at now. You'll see that pre-market, yes. We can totally bounce here, 100%. Like that's unfortunately though what people are learning is like, oh, let me buy that. Let me buy that. But that's how you catch falling knives. And it's not going to be retail that does it. Like if it totally can bounce here, and if it does, that'll be an institutional push that has to reach 496 in one move. But right now, that's basically a hippo. We talked about the hippo. It's all jokes aside. It's a bearish setup, right? We break that low, we should start to move with some force to the downside. Amazon it broke the pre-market low right at the open, right? So could I have gotten in there? Sure, but too little, too late. I mean, by the time things opened, it was trying to get into the position, put a position on, and then have it follow through, hopefully like what AMD should do here. But because we're playing the game of partials, that's where you more than likely want to take a partial. I was talking through that instead of taking money off of AMD, but Typically, that'd be like a first place to take a partial. Like, hey, if we don't break that, at least I made some money. Now I have to see it break because I didn't take a partial on it yet. So we should get that here now as follow through on AMD. Guys, Dell, beautiful trade. Thanks, Scott, by the way.
Yep.
10 points, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to cover off a little bit more here now at the 447, 448.
Yeah,
Yep.
I might join you there.
And I'll still have 200 shares here. And I think the right thing to do is probably cover it off at 450, although that's right up the ladder here.
Comes AMD.
We're blessed to have a huge trade here.
Look at Meta Toilet. Same thing. T-Dash. If you want to take a look at Meta, same kind of thing. And the problem is, yeah, cool, Vincent, awesome, man. Again, this is the trouble that I'm having with these markets, is that I don't think enough people are understanding, like when you're trading, you look at order flow and you're understanding market position. Look, buying the dip has worked, and that's okay. There will be a time where buying the dip doesn't work. And if you're not diligent about managing stop losses, that's how you blow up an account or worse, right? So it's important. Again, Dell hitting all-time highs, shorting it was super risky. That's why we nibbled and we added. Then we had a decent-sized position. We took a partial. Why? It's overextended. Meta would have been a great position. We talked about getting in at 425. Where did that bounce go? You guys got to keep me honest on this stuff. 624.81. I want to get in at 625. So we were actually more diligent about watching that one. That's right up to the VWAP. Failed. That would have been 10 points, guys. So again, it's not a guarantee, but when you see people, we say like bullish behavior is one thing. Bearish behavior is if there's a fire in a theater and there's only one door to get out, watch how fast people want to get out of that building, So be careful. Is kind of moral of the story. And today could be one of those days. I have a feeling that was my expectation. 10:30, maybe we see some real price action hit the tape. Look at Meta, straight down. Rocket Lab, straight down. Amazon, holding on. Love the technology, love the company. I think they're going to reap the benefits of AI automation because they are probably 2 to 3 times the size of robotic automation in the world today. But the fact that they had some news around having to free up cash through foreign exchange currencies, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it could get tricky. Guys, 445, I'm going to cover off some more here. Dell, thank you. AMD, I'm going to take some off right here. Thank you.
Okay, traders, I'm out. All shares now, Dell. So, this is where I've had this conversation before, and again, very, very, very super blessed to be in this type of position. But, we're not even 30 minutes into the day and I'm totally done. Like I will not, there's no reason for me to place another trade. I've had three trades and two big trades now. I mean, Dell, 12 points on Dell. So, you guys do the math. If you start off with 500 shares and
it was an incredible trade was what it was.
Yeah, exactly. NVDA, now, Dell, all of these pre-market calls. And, I think Dell is just a risky trade. However, and there's really, because I'm going to get asked this or emailed, why did you take the Dell trade? Okay, so there's no real, if you look at the Dell trade here and just break it down, if you go to the daily and you go to the max, okay, this is what you're looking at, right? You're looking at a stock that went from 2 days from 200, okay, to 445.
Double.
Okay, so to me, very well extended. So then the question becomes, well, Scott, why did you short it at? Let's go back here and go to the 5 minute. Why did you short it today at the 458 area? Okay, because I thought the rollover here, once we got up here and we spiked it, I'm like, it's a little bit too far extended. Plus the stock was up 10%, 39 points, almost 40 points. So when I say it's a risky trade, it's risky because I am certainly guessing that we're close to the top. So my guess is going to be like a 3 or 4 point guess. And can you handle the heat? 3 or 4 points with 200 shares or 500 shares? I'm risking, 4 points. I'm risking $2,000. Right, with 500 shares, I'm risking $2,000. to make what 62.40.
Yeah.
You know, I
Exactly.
mean, so to me, it's worth it. Is it risky? Heck yeah. Is it a strategy that I always do? No. But when I see something take off like that, whether it's to the downside, when it gets overcooked to the downside or overcooked to the upside, I want to be a player because I know that there's risk associated, but I know that the payoff, and thank God we got this, but the payoff is going to be extra big if you get it, and we
Yeah.
got it. And
Well,
then
perfect example. As we're talking about it, 455 psychological level, 460 would be even more psychological level. What do we hit? What was the top of that? I think it was 461.
61 maybe.
So you risk $1, right? Now, granted, it's tough to nail that 460 right on the print, but that's what
Right.
I was trying to do using market orders, and we missed it by a little bit. But hence the nibble, hence the growing position. But totally with you on that, Scott. I mean, I think shorting all-time highs is very, very dangerous, precarious business, but it can be rewarding, especially like I was looking at MU for the same thing. The problem is, I mean, what can you buy MU? 100 shares? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
To be
yeah.
and be terrified the whole time because it'll move 20, 30 points out of nowhere. But yeah, total valid explanation there. Rocket Lab, guys, probably my top choice to the downside. And you might ask the reason why. It was one of my longer standing holdings this year and I said it literally, if you go back to January of this year, I said, I'm buying Rocket Lab down. I think it was like $60, something like that. Started building a position down there. And the goal was to hold it until SpaceX's IPO. I think many of you guys remember that. But, we sold it off and been selling it as it moved higher. But the big reason is, like, Rocket Lab has reaped the benefit of the excitement of SpaceX. Do I think SpaceX is going to be a massive IPO? Sure. Do I think it's going to be overvalued? Yes. Am I going to buy some? Yes. but still, I don't know if those two can compete head to head.
Where do they think it's going to open up?
Man, who knows? One day it's one number, the next day it's another number. I have a feeling it's probably going to be a $300 to $600 print by day one, would be my guess.
Okay. That's legit.
I agree with that.
Which is crazy because there's guys that I know that work for them and they own like stock options at like a couple bucks. I'm like, why would you ever leave that company, man?
Well, they're going to print millionaires on day one, right?
100%. 100%.
It's funny. I just talked to a buddy of mine out in California this weekend, and he was in that. He's not SpaceX. He's with, let's just say, Company A, and Company A had a private company, and he left the company on good terms. Well, part of the settlement was, hey, listen, I was here at the start. I have all these shares, and now I'm leaving. Well, the company exploded, right? I mean, it started off as like a 5-man show, and then got huge and remained private. Well, the valuation of the shares, I mean, and the kid is just an instant, multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And he's leaving the company, right? So these guys that have the options, that are able to, and they may not be able to execute them on day one, but who knows? But they're going to be millionaires. I mean, or not even millionaires, just what? How do you call it? Multi.
Yeah, either way, it's, I don't know.
You just say millionaires, like Justin. He's you can't. What's the difference between 5 million and 25 million? They're still millionaires. So.
Exactly.
Right. What does it matter? I mean, who's counting?
It's all relative. It really is. A third world millionaire versus a first world millionaire, right?
Yeah. I saw this. I was watching my favorite YouTube channel. Not my favorite. One of my YouTube channels last week, and they were talking about what is FU money, and the one guy, and I like the way he said it because I thought a lot higher than what they were talking about, but he said FU money, and he's a pretty well-known financial guy. He says FU money is 10 million, and the guy says, well, why only 10 million? And he says, well, because 10 million, if you put it at 4 to 4.5% right now, which is super secure, bulletproof return, bonds or whatever it is, at 4.5%, that's 450 grand. So you're making 30 grand a month. And I was telling my wife, I said, it's right, because 30 grand a month, the guy says, I'd be hard pressed to spend 30 grand a month. And I would feel the same way, to spend 30 grand a month. Now, I mean, you could say, oh, I'm going to go buy a, GT4 RS and, things like that. But I'm just saying, though, to go out every month, you and your spouse, and sit there and say, hey, okay, let's go and travel down to, I don't know, Key West. What's the trip going to cost you? 8 grand?
I was going to say 5 to 8.
If you went crazy, 8 grand. Okay, 100%. So now you got 22 left. What else are you going to do? Let's go out for a steak dinner every day. That's going to be 300 a day. That's 9 grand. Okay, now what else are you going to do? I mean,
the power of compound interest is.
Yeah, of course. It's ridiculous.
The 8th wonder of the world, right?
Yes. I love that. I haven't heard that, but that's true. What, compound interest, right?
Yep.
Yep. That's good.
Mark, what are you posting there, man? Oh, is that the one where he talks about 2.5 million? You put it away. Every schmuck knows that, or whatever. Yeah, that's a good bit for sure. I've seen that before.
Okay, so guys, I've actually run a new collar on 130 on Service Now. But it's. I'm going to watch if it reclaims VWAP. I'll exit the covered call for a small loss, run it up to 139, see for continuation. But as I said before, we are hyper extended on Service Now. So to see another leg up today or tomorrow,
taking one more AMD.
Chances are, I would say 50-50. So I want to see it get above VWAP again and not lose 134.01. I sold a covered call at 155.
Disappointed in the crew. A little disappointed in the crew this morning. I mentioned Meta. 625 was where we want to get in. No one was watching, I guess. I know I wasn't. I'm mad at myself because now it's 10 points lower, man. Shoot.
625 for a short. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. It's exactly where the 9 EMA is right now on the 15.
Now the trouble is, you shorted here, you run the risk of bottoming out.
Yeah. I just want now to pop up to 139 again. That's all I need today.
I want Amazon to collapse under 262. It's a big area of support on Amazon. And maybe I get 259 today. That'd be awesome. But it needs to be, I need to see the cues right now. Give us a little hippo action. And break the floor with some violence. Okay, guys, I'm going to trim up pretty much everything I have in Dell. That was fun. Same with AMD.
Yeah,
Still waiting on Amazon, though.
Remember this rhino, guys. Remember this rhino on Palantir. I'm putting in the private group in the trading room. We hit it this morning, gents. We hit it this morning.
Did you get your 140?
And ladies. I don't want to assume there are no ladies in the room.
What'd you push? Once it got to 160?
162, yeah. And
the number.
My marked level was, which we haven't hit yet, which is 168.45. That was my ultimate target. So remember we said 139.02 unlocks 144, 144 unlocked 153, and then 153 pushed us up to the Rhino, which is 162.10. So for me to see us get to 168, I can't imagine we'll get there today, but for sure this week we could certainly do it. On the 15, the Bollinger Band compressed, which is basically a squeeze, right? So it squeezed on the 20 EMA, and then it took off again, and that's when we hit our Rhino. So there's again expansion on the Bollinger Band. The RSI is looking good. We have a cross on the MACD upward over the Sig9, hyperextended on the 15. So a little bit of caution. I could see a little bit of consolidation up here before the next leg up. So I'm still positive, bullish on Palantir for today, technically, and this week, I would guess. So yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is really, really awesome, guys.
Another one I'm watching, Oracle. We'll call it the Trump playlist.
Palantir's on that list, you know that, hey? I mean, he pitched Palantir. That's why you got to listen carefully. All those little subtle underlying, I call them chirps, you know, like a budgie tweety. Trump drops chirps. And if you're listening closely enough to what he's not saying, you trade on what he's not saying and you'll make money. Not to say, so for example, let's say he says, anyway, I'm going to get my tongue twisted here. Basically, he says something, right, without saying it, but the inverse is true. So 9 times out of 10, because I see him as the ultimate troll. Like, he is phenomenally good at trolling people. Love him or hate him, he's a master at that. So I try to infer what he's saying and what he's doing on the bigger, you know, on the kind of, not just typical macro environment of the market. What's the bigger picture? You know, like an eagle's eye view of like, what is he doing? And then I try to personally position my trades around what I'm seeing on the technicals that then align up with his commentary together with media, which in most occasions are inverse to one another, right? So you got to kind of balance the noise between the two soundboards and find the neutral in the middle and then decide, okay, that's the edge. Now, where do we find that edge and how do we trade that edge? And that's what we bring into the markets with our decision making, because everything is about broader market structure and broader market sentiment. So it all roots down to the psychology of the market, which is the psyche, right, of the market versus your individual psyche and how you apply that to your trading methodology. And so, you know, psychology 101 and trading 101, in my mind, the two are one. They literally parallel one another. If you're good, the market's good, we're all good. Whether it goes up or whether it goes down makes no difference. And that's the beautiful thing about us being traders. We don't care. We just follow the trend. Trend is our friend till the end, right?
Yep, no doubt. No doubt.
So now, sitting at now, speaking of, right, I took those covered calls. Currently, I'm in profit, so I could exit on that at this point, depending on the action, and stay in the collar. Or I could, so I'm watching this very closely because I'll probably cut it and then look for a run up to 139 on my original position, take out my stocks, take the profit on that, take the income on the call, the 155 call I sold. If it doesn't work in my favor and it shoots down, I don't care. My calls are going to pay me at 155 that I sold, and I'm going to run it down now and make potentially another profit. So if it goes down to 124.71, I don't care.
You know what would be great right now, DVG, is to have that Dell run to like 164 or so. Take it one more time for the road, baby.
Oh, for the short?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm already out, but I would
too.
look at it again.
Yep. We're wicking out right here at 455, 456, so maybe not, but
so Rocket Lab and Meta are the two. Mark, you mentioned ARM. Those are the two today. Meta, toilet, Rocket Lab, toilet. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Softy might give up the market too here before 60. Big push, though.
We're right across the board right now. Dow's down 107, NASDAQ down 18, 17. So
you know what? Maybe I'll get some 735 puts right now.
DVG, your quick view on ServiceNow. Do you think this is going to go? Do you think this is going to flush, or do you think we're going to do a double top or triple top? Actually, I don't want it to go down, but what I'm seeing is probably that it's
got plenty of room to the upside. The trouble is everything's converging to the downside, so it needs to hold this session low. Otherwise, you run the risk.
Exactly my concern.
Yeah.
So I'm already in position for a long put, which is to the short side to cover. But what I do want to see
132 has to hold.
Yeah,
basically.
Agreed, 100%. if that's the case, I would exit, just for everyone else, I would exit the calls, right, that I sold, earn the premium, and then on the reversal, run up the stock to 139, exit probably 70% of that position and leave 30% for runners in the hopes that we'll reach at least one, nice number, 144. If we can reach 144, I'd be happy on the runners, the 30% runners.
Excuse me.
$2.10 right now for the 734 puts for tomorrow on the Qs. I might grab 2 bundles of those and just wait. I want to have them in by 10:30. So I think 10:30 we're going to see maybe not fireworks, but a directional bias, up or down. I'm okay either way.
Okay,
I know you're
selling
staring
my
at Dell,
calls.
Scott.
What's that?
Buying back
I know
my
you're
calls.
watching Dell
I
like
know.
a hawk
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
All right, guys, we reclaim 134.05, so I'm taking profit. I'm buying back those calls because it's
Pretty
turned
much
on me.
pretty much a classic though on Dell DVG. You know, lower highs result in what? Lower lows, right? So you break the VWAP here to the downside, you could see the low of the day. I mean, yeah, low of the day so far. Well, not the low, but the low of the open here. NVDA. Remember I was saying last week NVDA has just been so flat, not doing anything. Well, today's got the wind in its sails, you know.
Well, yeah, he's chatting about it with Microsoft, and I don't know. I think he's doing some things right, man. Obviously, he's the biggest company on the planet right now, 5-6 trillion, whatever, however many trillions it's worth now. But getting into personal computing is not a bad idea. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm using AI on my local machines now too, quite a bit, building agents and doing all kinds of stuff.
100%.
So like most people may not have a PC or laptop that they're using just for that. So hence we're seeing a big move in Dell. Maybe HPE does the same. Like hardware's on the move. Software got kind of kicked because AI is, automating all the stuff. But the reality is like, look, if you're a software company, this is why I think that markets have a chance to even move higher than they are currently. Because if you do know what you're doing with AI and you're in the software business, you're just going to improve margins. Because you don't need a 500-person dev team. You need 5 good devs that can use AI.
Can I give you a real world example, like real world life example, just personal example?
Sure.
I went from, running a multinational company, being very, very heavily involved with multiple multinational companies. And I realized, I'll give you an example. So, what would have taken 120 employees, and you can imagine what that would cost, right? 120 employees just from one company, as an example, and you take what AI is capable of doing now. Just take the setup of this rig, right? Last weekend as an example. I'm an audio visual specialist all of a sudden. I'm a IT specialist. I'm a finance guy. I'm you can pretty much with AI be and become anything you want. I believe the economy in the longer term is going to effectively change, right? With the economic utility, what is going to be the value driver within society? And I believe it's going to become us as human beings, right? Because ultimately, products and services. Anyway, it's a much, much broader, deeper discussion. Maybe not necessarily for this platform, but that's my worldview, right? Is I try to look at it from the most broad perspective possible, and make my decisions based on that. And so the emphasis, the point that I'm hitting home, is that AI, you need to learn the skills of AI today. It's as if we had the internet 30 years ago. It's that generation, right? AI, in my personal opinion, is going nowhere. The question is, are you ruling AI or is AI ruling you? So who's the tool? Use AI as a tool and it will jet fuel your life. If you just think about with the robots that are coming out, you think about, automated deliveries, drone deliveries with Amazon, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The nature, the structure of our society, our global society is changing. If you think about, for example, like immigrants, like why do third world immigrants immigrate to first world countries? Because of poverty, right? Because of economic value, because they want a better way of life. Can you imagine if you open up access to the markets and give them the skills that they need to be able to trade, right? And Trump's already doing that with the legislation that he's been implementing, right? He's making the markets available, at least domestically, to the next generation at a younger age. So you've got this entire new age, millennials, zennials, gennials. I can't keep up with all of the different terms, but literally on the bigger picture, the market itself, capital markets are going to increase from generation to generation to generation. So just think about the impact that has on the eighth wonder of the world, right? Compound interest. If you're adding more to it's the law of large numbers. Many of my closest friends, even, some of my closest friends are involved in insurance, right? We can be insurance salesmen in the markets, right? Earning premium by selling calls, selling cash secured puts. These are strategies that can be done on small accounts. I like to work with small accounts, medium-sized accounts, and large accounts. Historically, I've worked with large companies and help them to get wealthy, right? To build and generate wealth. Why not do that on the individual level? With people, right? Because we have never in the history of humanity had the opportunity for one-to-many like we do today. At literally the click of a button, all we need is an internet connection and the applicable service. And coming back to my illustration, or not illustration, it was a real world scenario. Lying in my bed, back broken, unable to look after myself, unable to provide for my family in that moment. What did I do? Picked up my phone and I did one or two trades, and I made more money in that day. And I'm not saying this to be boastful. I'm saying this, in humility, but also to inspire others, because it is possible. And the difference is, if you can have access as a third worlder, right? And this is why, coming from an African country, it means so much to me, because I understand what it means to live in both, right? And so my perspective is very different. Can you imagine if they have access to capital in the way that we do here in the US? Trading in the third world is not the same as in the first world. Access to markets is not the same. There are so many costs baked in. And the truth is, if you can learn the skills, no matter who you are, the truth is you got to make four core decisions. One, it's going up or it's going down. And then that's decision one, that's decision two. Decision three is the first when decision. When is it going up? When do I enter? And the second is, when do I get out? So you're making four foundational decisions in every single trade. It's all about timing, right? And up or down. But then there's a fifth dimension, one final fifth dimension, and that is which stock to pick. You guys saw last week, I picked the wrong stock. I picked Meta, right? I was sitting on Meta and it went against me. I had to manage the trade. But who cares? Red isn't dead. Just switch.
I'm going to start a position here. Sorry about that. I'm going to start a position here on Dell. I'm going to take it at, let's say, 461 right here, 461.50. I'm going to start nibbling here. So I'm going to go short right here, 461.40, and I'm short stock. And I'll add to it as we start to run up here. See if I can do this twice. Come on. And then what I'll do is I'll add under 460. We break 460, I'm going to add. And then we'll see if we can get 5 points or so, 4 or 5 points on this.
Well, I don't know about the Dell trade for me. I played with fire already. Look at AMD go now. Moving straight up. Okay, Q's and Ruben higher. 7 minutes. AMD back to $500. Oracle now 234. What's interesting though too, Scott, as you're in this trade for Dell, like if Nvidia's getting into the PC business and they're partnering with Microsoft, doesn't that make Dell vulnerable? I don't think. I mean, it's competition for them. Right?
Yeah, it's not like they're the only game in town. So I would say yes. You know, one of the things I've always thought about was think about the way that Apple does things, okay? Apple computer has its own operating system and manufactures its own hardware, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought about this. Why isn't Microsoft out there and saying, hey man, we could be, this is cheap to say, if they just mimicked Apple, you know, a Microsoft Air laptop, a Microsoft Pro laptop, a Microsoft phone, you know, whatever they call it, and then the Microsoft Surface. And they just, I don't understand why Microsoft can't be the best of the best. Why is it that, you know, Microsoft isn't big enough? I mean, I know they're a software company, but they could have bought a chip company or done something and created their own brand and just been, you know, then you wouldn't talk about, you would put HP out of business. Dell would have huge competition, you know, and
well, the reality is it's a margin thin business, right?
Yeah,
like if you look
razor
at
thin, right?
razor thin margins. You already have players in the space. Like, don't get me wrong. Look, Microsoft still has their laptops and stuff, and they're pretty good. I've actually owned a few, but I mean, I don't think that's really a market they're going to go after head on, and then they're going to try to grow it organically. And if there's adoption, great. And I think they've done a pretty decent job there. But if you're making, you know, 40 to 80% margins in software, and then you make 4% on hardware, I'm pretty sure, you know, what is it, Amy Hood, right? Their CFO, arguably probably one of the most powerful women in all of business. I'd say her, maybe even back in the day, Safra Catz over at Oracle, just powerhouse women controlling these huge tech giants. But yeah, I mean, they could have done that. I just don't know if that was the business they wanted to be in. I mean, you look at the fact that Xbox, same thing. They weren't winning a ton there. So like they were trying to get out of the hardware space.
You could say the same thing. Where is Apple's Xbox, right? Where is that for Apple? I mean, I guess your Vision Pro goggles, right? But
yeah.
It's like those things to me, you know, I remember, DVG, not recently, within the last, say, I think 5 to 8 years, walking into a mall, whatever that is, walking into a mall and going to a Microsoft store, which was coincidentally like 8 stores down from the Apple store. You know,
and one was packed and the other one was empty.
Yes. Yep. Exactly right. Exactly right. It just as big as Microsoft is, as big as Microsoft has been, as big as the Windows name has been, it just bewilders me why they can't dominate, or at least now, which is sad to say, give Apple a run for their money. I just don't think that HP, for instance, or Lenovo is ever going to give Apple a run for its money with, I hate to say it, with anything. I mean, I don't know. And, you know, I'm an Apple fanboy, but what Apple has done when they brought in the chip in-house, I mean, game changer.
Game changer, yeah.
You know, it's like you almost want to say game over.
But also Apple sells more of a you know, of an ecosystem relative to HP and Dell.
Yeah, but so can Microsoft, right?
Yeah,
that was my point.
Yeah,
they
100%.
could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, the brand and the, I'm telling you, the brand and the logo, the Microsoft logo, is as strong as anything. I would say almost as strong as Apple, if not. You know, the Microsoft has been around
Definitely
way
for
longer
enterprises, for sure.
Yep. Anyway, I'm done.
He said, I'm done.
Yeah, out, tap out, done.
All right, guys, 2 bundles of the cues. I'm grabbing them here. $2, 734 strike, 2 bundles. Let's go. All right, so I paid 201 for them. Whatever, same thing.
Anything under
734 strike for
460,
tomorrow.
I'll add. Anything under 460, I will add.
We're gonna have Macho Man off the top ropes right now on the cues. You'll see.
It would be nice if the cues would change or would select their direction. You know, that now trade that that Justin was talking about looks kind of juicy to the short side here under the 131.80. Breaks 132 here. You could step on it. It also, though, could be bought, I think, right here, and then through 134 add.
Correct, and I'm exactly watching that trade. I've got a long put position trade already set up if it breaks 131.61. I'm hoping for the reversal. I'd prefer to see the reversal. If it does break 131.61, I'll probably write it down to near 124.71, trimming along the way. I've taken profit on that call that I sold, so hopefully this does run back up.
Well, welcome to June, everybody. We're starting off.
Yeah.
I'm starting off pretty strong. I know, DVG, how was your day today?
I'd say it's pretty good. I mean, I just gave back $300 on the. I mean, I'm still in them, but I grabbed 2 bundles of the puts for the cues. My Amazon position hasn't really done a whole lot, so that could determine the day. But that Dell short was nice. The AMD short was nice. It's pretty good. No complaints.
Good, good.
I was thinking right now at 10:30, should have that decision. I'm a little concerned that we're 2 minutes past my expectation. Come on, market, you're supposed to listen to me. What the heck? CRWV is the high of day, Mark. Nice.
Oh, I'm trading blind. Can you believe it? My Benzinger's not.
AMD, guys, 504 now. Oh, we shorted that perfectly. Got out of the way.
How do you use, Justin? How do you use the Squawk Box feature on?
I've got a number of different configs. So I've got scanners set up. I've got specific layouts and watch and pages depending on the different types of trading I'm doing on the day.
Right.
And the scanner I've got running, but a very, very helpful tool is the Squawk Box, right? So that gives you literally as news comes down the wire. So I'll give an example. If President Trump posts a tweet, not a tweet, I beg your pardon, a truth, you literally get the truth and about 5 seconds later, it comes down the wire.
Yeah.
So, you know, the difference that 5 seconds can be life-changing on a trade, especially if you're sniping or scalping. So I listen very attentively. Marvel, there's a Farvel popping. There's an alert.
And that's the one, like I've heard it in the background before. That's somebody is talking, right?
Correct. Yeah. So you can select different. I mean, it's customizable and stuff, but yes, there's someone talking. So the help in that is I don't need to look at what he's saying. I've got all my primary stocks that I, portfolio stocks. Those are the ones I really care about listening to. And then obviously the day trade stocks. So I will configure it on a Sunday for the week based on the stocks that I'm looking at. I've got two main news filters that I've got customized, purposely customized for my trading style. And it allows me to flip between those, right? Day trade, swing trades, and then of course scalping and sniping. So the beautiful thing about having the audio Squawk is I don't need to physically go and read the article, because that creates time delay, creates lag. So I can listen to the overarching sentiment based on whether it's a stock announcement, whether it's oil, whether it's futures. I know we all know this, right? Most of us pretty much do this, but it's very, very helpful, Scott, to have that audio Squawk.
And do you have that now in your headset, or do you still have it out?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, that was part of the problem. When you guys were talking, I would get the feedback of the Squawk at the same time. So I needed to separate the channels. I haven't quite finished that yet. So when you speak and there's an audio Squawk, it still comes over. So the only way I can manage that is to mute the room, right? Mute you when you're talking, which is time consuming, right? Because I'm losing seconds. So what I'd rather do is have it set up, and I've got a mixer now that I'm going to set it up so that audio feed doesn't affect the overlay when you're speaking, and then of course distract me. But also allow me then to feed that back into the group, right, based on what I'm hearing, especially if it ties into what we're trading. Keeping an eye on now, guys, testing the lows.
I think it drops that one. Well, I'll give you the exact here. I think this is the first candle of the day right here, right? 131.61.
Yeah. So for those of you, I've got a weekly option queued up short. Not the ideal strike. It's a 133. Open interest is low. Volatility is high. Not a great one. Let me see if I can find something better. I really don't want to have to take this. Although, to my benefit, if we look on the 5 and the 1, we're sitting at the bottom of the RSI, so strength is weakening, it's oversold. Higher time frame tells me, this could, like I said, this could consolidate here. Let's just hope it doesn't break down, because we do see the 9 EMA and the 20 expanding very, very far from the VWAP, and VWAP's about to confluence with 134.01, which would signal continued downside pressure, making 124.71 likely. So right now there's a Bazinga alert coming through. Scott, you can't hear that, right?
No.
Okay, awesome.
I think I have to look at Benzinga. I mean, I know a lot of people that use it, but do they also like summarize the morning trades? Like, do they give you a watch list and things like that, or?
You can link your watch list, so you can to your brokerage account. So if your watch lists change, your Benzinga can then change dynamically and feed you the information you want. So let's say, for example,
sorry, like when but do they will they come out in the morning and say these are the stocks in play today? Do they have that kind of?
Not on the audio, but they do. Okay. They do have news
like
updates.
A service or whatever.
Yeah, service for sure. It's an exceptionally powerful tool, highly customizable. So there's almost like an infinite number of configurations that you could set up. It just has to be set according to, as I said before, how you trade specifically and the stocks you like to trade. I can, I'm happy to run through some of my configurations with you and how I've set it up when you want. But
that'll be.
I can even help you set it up for your style of trading.
That'll give me some opportunity on the plane ride to do some Benzinga stuff. Look at it anyway.
Maybe look for a Memorial Day special. If we're lucky, you might still be able to get that because it is pretty costly.
Yeah.
I know it's not. Yeah, I know it's not an issue for you, but it's not necessarily available to everyone.
Yeah, it's a couple grand a year, something like that.
But again,
I have no idea. I spend so much money on data and information. Like at the end of the year, I'm like, oh great, how much did I spend on that?
Well, to your point, that you often make, DVG, I said it's like treat yourself as a business, right? So
100%.
I've just invested in my rig because my rig wasn't capable of handling the performance capacity required to do what we're doing now. So invest in yourself. Rather than investing into anything else, begin with yourself. Don't start with if that means building a company, go ahead, invest in yourself, build a company. But you can be just as entrepreneurial trading as if you were owning a company. And the reality is you've got less overhead. You've got less, this is what also, arguably appeals quite a lot to me, is you don't have staff to manage. I'm so over managing staff. I'd rather inspire and lead and guide, everyone, as opposed to a small pool of individuals.
Amazon. Maybe I finally get paid on it. Where's T-Dash? I've been waiting all morning for this freaking move. Oh, man. I still got my 2 bundles on the queues. It's a 734 strike. I'm losing some dough on them right now, about 15 cents per bundle. So it's manageable, a few $100. Not too worried about it, but I still think we're going to flush at some point today. I'm in position. Keep an eye on the SPY. Just kind of hanging out there.
I'm starting to feel a little bit more positive about this now trade, guys. Potential reversal. Nothing happening now. I mean, the volume is low, but it'll if I'm really lucky here, it'll grind up. Because if I have a look on the chart, we haven't had a double top test. So I'd like to see that hopefully still today. And then that would put me out for the day. But meaning, I'd close out and be done in the green. Right now I'm still green, but having to manage this trade. So we'll see how we go.
Well, for those of you that are golfers out there, another controversial topic. So I'm looking this morning. The 2 winners, so Live Golf, the other golf league, Live Golf had their tournament this weekend, and the winner of the tournament made $4 million. The PGA Tour, that's been around forever, that is the premier tour in the world, winner makes 1.6, I think. And I think to myself,
Jeez. Win one round of golf.
Yeah, well, they play 4 rounds, right? 4 days, but
fair.
they keep it together for 4 days, and the one tour pays out $4 million, and this tour pays out 1.7. Plus, the guy that gets $4 million also splits a pot with the 3 players that are on his team, so he probably made $5 million this weekend, and the other guy gets 1.6. Oh. And they wonder why people jump ship to go over there. I mean, it's definitely all for the money. And if that's not your cup of tea, I don't blame you. But, crazy.
I'm not a good enough golfer. I have a hard time even when it's like, hey, let's bet $5 a hole, $20 a hole. I still do it, but just to have a good time, But where I usually catch up is I'll just do long ball.
Yeah.
And then I can usually make up some of the so once I get the short game, get on the green, I mean good with the irons, army golfer with the driver, and then putting. I mean, I did have a monster putt once upon a time, which you always remember that one off, but 9 times out of 10 my short game is terrible. But I did I want to say it was like a 40-foot putt, multi-sloped, and nailed it. And I was like, all right, that's it. I can quit.
It's a lasting memory.
Yeah. Sorry, but unless there's video, it never happened.
Yeah, that's right.
We did have a picture of it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I don't really like Amazon right now. It's taking too long. And 262, I know, is going to be a big area of contention. If we break that, though, we should get a nice little, drop. Pretty ugly sideways action. So I'm going to keep this position, keep my bundles for now. I'm not taking another trade, though. I'm happy.
Yep, I'm in the Dell trade here, and I've just added to it. So we'll see if I can get 3 or 4 points out of this. Then I'll call it a day too. I'm not afraid to leave early. Why not?
Like what I'm seeing with now, although it's very slow, but it's testing 134.01. So my exit on those calls was, as it stands right now, the good decision.
Again, I should do as I say, not as I think, because as I was saying, to take now, 132, now that's 2 points right there.
Mm-hmm. And that's the beautiful thing. I mean, just that low move, right? From the low, you could take a beautiful scalp, right? Which, because I'm not in the scalping mindset right now, I'm in the position management risk capital mindset. I wasn't playing scalps. So if I was, I would have jumped on that second candle at 1037, fine structure constant. I would have jumped in there and I would have run it up to 134 and exited. Boom. On that, on this doji that we're seeing right now in the 1 minute, I would have exited right there. And you take a 10, I don't want to put numbers, but you take a $10,000 trade, $100,000 trade, take $1 million trade, just on that little move. And you guys do the math.
Hey, Justin, what did you end up doing for monitors?
So I've got 5 monitors in total. Man, you could be so impressed with what I've done. I'm impressed with what I've done. Anyway, I got 3. So this is only halfway through the complete setup. But I've got 3 monitors set up at the moment. I've got 5 in total. I'm just waiting for some display port cables and a couple of other things, and then I'm going to have the other 2 set up. But yeah, the awesome thing is now with this NVIDIA graphics card, I can literally convert the screen into one major desktop, one single desktop, and then have the other screens as the audio visual and information tool, and the other one that runs my agents. So it's come along. I tell you what, it feels like I'm in a fighter jet cockpit right now, and that was really what I was going for. Because when we come and trade every morning, we're looking for our daily bread, but what is it? We're literally coming into the battlefield, right? It's us against everyone else, and not just everyone else, but we're against the algorithms too. So we need to be able to beat that. And so I need to have my space being organized and ordered, no clutter, no mess. I mean, I showed you guys this morning with, you may have seen briefly on the cameras, right? It's tidy environment because there needs to be order and structure within yourself before you trade, right? You don't go into the battlefield without the right weapons. And now my weapons are right. So I'm happy. I'm grateful. Sorry, Scott, long-winded answer.
All right.
I'm just keeping a close eye here on now because we're testing VWAP. So what I don't want to see is a sharp rejection. I want to see continuation and hopefully some volume increase. What's against me, though, is on the 1 minute, we've got full extension on the RSI. So can't see a breakout happening here. Probably a little bit of consolidation between VWAP and 134.01. So really, those are the only 2 things I could see happening.
We did talk about multiple views. You asked about now. 132 had to hold. I know you guys just got through talking about that. And sure enough, 132 held.
And it's a nice candle. Volume's increasing.
Everybody
right
kind
now.
of agreeing at the same time. It's not a bad place to be.
And that is exactly what gives us the confidence, all of us collectively, to be able to make the right trades, right? Because if you got two agreements are strong, 3 agreements are stronger than 2. Or at least carries more weight. So I'm hoping for takeoff here. Let's see. And not a sharp rejection. Come on, one more push. Let's get a double top, and then I'm done for the day.
Thinking about covering the Dell trade here and being done, but something tells me we're not over to the downside here. There goes now. Confirmation over that VWAP there, 135.20 maybe.
Yeah, I got my eye on 135.29. So yeah, 139. It's not getting rejected. So this is positive. Could see a pullback. Look at the confluence of the 20 EMA and the 9 EMA at 134.01. So this is compressing. Actually, let's have a look at the Bollinger. What does the Bollinger tell us? I don't usually use the Bollinger on this strategy.
Hey guys, I'm going to take off a little early. I'm going to keep the bundles I have on the queues, keep my Amazon short position for now, but not taking any other trades at the moment. But decent session. Good to trade with y'all. And again, I'll be out Wednesday this week, but I'll be here tomorrow. So, Justin, good to have you here live on the mic, which is good. Scott, good to see you. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at the Open. Cheers. God
Thanks,
bless.
DVG. Take care, brother. God bless. Okay, there's the pullback to the 9. Let's see if it tests the 20, which is converging with the 134.01. And if that happens, I'm expecting takeoff. Time span 152. Let's have a look, see what happens here. All right, there's the test. Weak test. So I'm pretty confident this is going up, guys. 70.30, this is going up.
Come on, Dell. I'll cover 458 and then call it a day, I think. Break through 460 again.
Come on, get above 134. Okay, so now I'll be queuing those put options up again, just in case, getting myself prepared for a flush, but I don't see that happening.
Okay, I'm not greedy. I'm going to call it quits right here. I'm out of the Dell trade right here. Just came out at 156.69 and covering there 159.69. Sorry, just almost 2 points to the good, and that's just because I'm gonna call it a day today. So, traders, I will see everybody tomorrow on a Tuesday session. A great way to start the week. I mean, just absolutely great. Thank you to everybody on YouTube for joining us. I mean, we are knocking it out of the park here. I think the addition with Justin here, DVG, Clifton, we got a great team, and the great team of traders too. Mark, Vincent, Tadash, the rest of the team here that contributes each and every day, and that's the key to it. We just appreciate that and appreciate you taking the time to be with us. I will see everybody tomorrow morning. Thank you to Justin. Thank you to DVG, Clifton, Mark. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the AM. God bless you all. Godspeed. Be thankful for what you have, and today's a great example of that. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.
Amen. God bless, God.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Seth, just wanted to give you a quick shout out to say thanks for that email you sent us over the weekend. Very much aligned and very much, I believe, a word in season, as they would say. If you'd like to chat a little bit more about it in depth, feel free to give me a call. You know, I'm a lot more, or at least reach out to me. It's not just about finance. Okay, coming back to now. Now it's looking pretty good. Holding over 134.01, which I like to see. If we can get above VWAP, I strongly believe we are going to see a double top retest. Because even though it looks like we've had it, we actually haven't. 139.20. It's just sitting here consolidating. So maybe it happens later in the day. Doesn't matter. Patience is key. What do they say? It's a virtue, right? Patience is a virtue. Guys, I'm going to step away for a few minutes, grab some coffee. Obviously, because I'm in this trade, I'll likely stay in the room. So I'll jump back in a few minutes.